In African, there is a country named Morocco, a land where history breathes through stone, where deserts remember footsteps, and where mountains do not forget the names spoken upon them. To travelers, Morocco is color and movement, markets filled with spice and sound, prayer echoing through ancient streets, caravans fading into golden sand. But beyond the cities, beyond the roads that tourists travel, there is another Morocco, a quieter one, an older one. It lives in the Atlas Mountains. The Atlas Mountains stretch like the spine of the earth, towering above villages and valleys, their peaks crowned with snow and cloud. For centuries, the Amazigh people believed these mountains were alive, watching, listening, and remembering every promise ever made upon their soil. This is not a story told to frighten children. This is a story told so people remember where they are standing. Long ago, tucked between the steep ridges and cedar forests, stood a village called Tigremt Night Uzir. Stone houses clung to the mountainside, built by hands that respected the land. The villagers were farmers, shepherds, and traders, bound together by survival and silence. Their leader was an aging man named Ammar ben Youssef, whose beard was as white as mountain snow. Ammar was known not for his strength, but for his memory. He remembered droughts, wars, and stories passed down through generations. Every year at the start of winter, Ammar would gather the villagers and repeat the same warning. "Take what the mountain offered," he would say, "but never take what it guards." Most nodded. Few listened. For many years, the mountain was generous. Springs flowed, herds grew strong, storms passed without destroying crops. But fate, like stone, changes slowly, then all at once. One winter, harsher than any before, snow buried the paths. Crops failed, traders stopped coming. Hunger entered the village quietly like a thief. Hope arrived in the hands of a young shepherd named Rashid el-Mekki. While chasing a stray goat high along a cliffside, Rashid noticed a strange crack in the rock. Sunlight struck something within it, silver veins threaded with black stone, richer than iron, rarer than gold. The mountain, it seemed, had hidden wealth. Word spread quickly. The men of Tigremt Night Uzir began climbing higher, cutting deeper. Chisels rang against stone from dawn to dusk. Each strike echoed across the valleys like a drumbeat. At first, nothing happened. Then the mountain began to change. The wind no longer flowed naturally. It circled the village, whispering through doorways at night. Animals refused to graze near the new mining paths. Fires flickered and died for no reason. Old Ammar noticed something else. The mountain had grown silent. No birds, no distant echoes, only listening. One evening, Rashid stayed behind alone, determined to widen the crack he had found. As the sun dipped behind the peaks, the air grew heavy. His final strike did not ring. It sank. The stone wall before him trembled and folded inward, not breaking, but opening, like an eye waking from sleep. Heat poured out, ancient and dry. From the darkness stepped a figure taller than any man, its body shaped from stone, dust, and fireless ash. Its eyes burned with a deep ember glow, older than language. Rashid tried to scream. No sound came. The voice spoke not aloud, but inside his bones. "You dig where you were sworn not to remember." The mountain shook. Rashid ran. By morning, he was gone. Then the storms began. Thunder rolled without clouds. Snow fell in the height of summer. Paths collapsed. 3 miners vanished in 1 week. No blood, no struggle. Their tools were found stacked neatly at the mountain's edge, facing inward as if returned. Fear spread faster than hunger. Whispers filled the village of an ancient name forbidden to be spoken at night. Azru al-Qadim, the ancient stone. A Djinn neither born of flame nor shadow, but of earth itself, created when the world was still learning balance. A guardian bound not to humans, but to a promise older than kingdoms. Ammar could no longer remain silent. He gathered the villagers and spoke the truth. Long before Tigremt Night Uzir existed, their ancestors fled war and drought. Trapped between desert and enemy, they sought refuge in the mountains. There they encountered Azru al-Qadim. A pact was made. The mountain would shelter them from famine, invasion, and ruin. In return, its heart would remain untouched. No blade, no greed, No curiosity. The villagers had forgotten, and the mountain remembered. Desperate, they sent word across Morocco for Fatima al-Zahra, a woman known as a listener of spirits, blind since birth, yet guided by voices older than sight. Fatima climbed the Atlas Mountains alone, guided by wind and memory. At the highest sealed cave, she knelt and placed her hands on the stone. She did not speak. The mountain spoke to her. Azru al-Qadim revealed the truth hidden even from Amar. The mountain was not guarding treasure. Beneath it slept an army of fire Djinn, sealed away after nearly burning the land to ash. The Atlas Mountains were not merely stone. They were a prison. Every strike of the chisel weakened the seal. The storms were not punishment. They were warnings. If the seal broke, Morocco itself would burn. Fatima returned with the mountain's demand. The villagers could leave forever, or offer a living guardian, someone to replace Azru al-Qadim, bound to the stone until the end of time. No one spoke. Then, as if summoned by fate, Rashid returned. His eyes were hollow. His voice carried echo. "I have seen what sleeps beneath," he said, "and it must never wake." Rashid stepped forward. At dawn, he entered the mountain. The stone closed behind him. The storm ceased. The wind resumed its natural path. The village survived. Today, travelers in the Atlas Mountains report strange things. Warm stone and cold snow. Winds that breathe like a man. A shadow standing where no one stands. They say Rashid watches still. This story, passed through generations, reminds us. Some places are not empty. Some mountains are not silent. And some promises must be guarded by blood. This ancient Moroccan folktale is preserved and told by Tales by Sora, where forgotten voices still speak.